Hello, Daily Drafters. Today is Thursday, December 30th, and thanks for joining me for today's Daily Draft. We've got another Innistrad Crimson Vow draft today, and before we get into this one, I wanted to remind everyone that this is the last week for the Crimson Vow season that we will be doing daily drafts Monday through Friday. Beginning next week on Tuesday, I believe it's January 4th, we're going to be switching to our Tuesday-Friday schedule for Crimson Vow because the set is winding down, and Kamigawa Neon Dynasty is going to be releasing on February 10th. So for the last month or so of the season, we're going to be drafting twice a week instead of 5 times a week so that we can kind of get ready for that next set and make sure everything's good to go for Kamigawa. So let's hope this queue fills up here. We can hop right on into this one. There we go. All right, let's take a look here. Pack one, pick one. Let's start with the commons. Best common in this pack is probably Falkenrath Celebrants, maybe closely followed by Blood Fountain, but neither of those are cards I'm really interested in taking this early. Uncommons are all pretty good. Catapult Fodder, Stormchaser Drake, and Valorous Stance. Wing Portent is unplayable, so I think it's between the 3 uncommons here. I have had success steering away from black recently in this format. Black is way overdrafted, and there's a chance we start black with a card that may not even be great in every black deck, and then we just get pushed right off of it. So I'm going to actually start with Stormchaser Drake. This goes right into my favorite deck of the format, which is blue-white. It also goes in red-blue if we can get a lot of the 1-mana red pump thing, and it's, I can't remember the exact name of it. They collect them all red spell, you know. But I'm going to go ahead and start here with Stormchaser Drake as a bit of a preference that I've got in this format so far. Okay, so we follow it up with honestly not great options here. Wolf Strike, Lacerate Flesh, Bloodcraze Socialite. I mean, those are all like fine cards in their colors, but none of them are blue. I don't really want to go either of these blue cards. So then if we look, Heron of Hope is fine too, don't need the land. Skulking Killer is awful, and Voltaic Visionary, I think, is what I'm going to take here. I guess it can really go in any red deck, and I guess this could be leaning blue-red. There's really no pieces in blue-white here. I mean, Heron of Hope could go well in a blue-white deck if you get some Traveling Ministers, but there's no guarantee of that happening, and I think this card is objectively more powerful than anything else in the pack, so I'm going to go ahead and take it and see where we go from here. And now there's a couple of signals. This is the card I was mentioning, Ancestral Anger. So there's a Parasitic Grasp, but again, I'd rather just ship black. I'm not really interested in getting into black here at this point in the format. I'm kind of over that. So there is the first Anger. There's also Cigar's Imprisonment, and I think this is the second best card in the pack behind Parasitic Grasp. So I'm going to go ahead and take this Imprisonment. Goes well in a deck with Stormchaser Drake, assuming we're going to be able to get some Disturbed creatures. And I just think it's the best card in this pack. So we're going to take Cigar's Imprisonment here. And then there's a decision. Okay, so we've got Traveling Minister, and we've got Abrade. And then, to a lesser extent, there's these two cards, which go well in green-white. Maybe we could think about, green-red. Maybe we can think about going into green-red for one of these two cards. But I'm not entirely sure about that. I think this is really, really close here. Again, with my preferences of wanting to be blue-white here, and this Visionary going in any red deck, but not really having a home necessarily in any red deck, I think I want to take the Minister. It is the last white card in this pack. It sends no white signals to our left. There's not much blue here either, but there is a rare and an uncommon missing. Someone took a rare, an uncommon, and a common. So I'm going to go ahead and take this Minister, although that pick is really difficult. And instantly rewarded here with 4 really good cards in blue-white that I would not mind playing, like any one of them. Screaming Swarm has been a good win con, but it's a little expensive, I've found. Kindly Ancestor, I mean, I'd honestly play 2 or 3 of these if I can. Siphon Essence, I'd play a copy or 2. I'm going to take Imprisonment here over Screaming Swarm, again, because it's another enchantment, which this blue-white deck usually cares about, and Screaming Swarm has been a little expensive, like I mentioned. It's 6 mana, 6 mana 4/4 flyers, good. But if they kill it after this comes down, it's such a tempo hit for you. Don't get me wrong, if this card wasn't in the pack, I would probably be taking Screaming Swarm. But I'm going to go ahead and take another Imprisonment here. So we've got some pieces in blue-white. Scattered Thoughts, Fear of Death, and Supernatural Rescue. I haven't been a fan of Rescue. Honestly, I think I'm going to take my first Scattered Thoughts in this deck. If we can pick up a couple, like a Scattered Thoughts plus a few counter spells like Syncopate or Siphon Essence, this card gets a lot better. So we can leave up our mana to use the counter. If they don't play anything we want to counter, we just draw some cards. There's also Fear of Death, which I think we can get later if we want to be honest. So I'm going to go ahead and take Scattered Thoughts here. And I've actually been really impressed with Shield Basher in really any white deck. This card is hard to deal with, and it's kind of a must deal with, right? If we can get some Lantern Bearers, put them on top of this, attack Indestructible, it becomes a real problem. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and take the Shield Basher here. And then there's a Flame Blessed Bolt. So this is a signal that red might be open. I'm going to take this late Bolt here because it's either that or Stitched Assistant. And this is obviously far and away the best card in the pack. Whoa, okay, so in that first pack, the two best commons that I pointed out both came back, which is weird. I don't want Winged Portent. I've already got a Scattered Thoughts. I guess I could take Celebrants in the event that we do go blue-red. This next pack could have an Ancestral Anger, which could help us lean towards that down that path with the Storm Chaser Drake, but I think white is our best color right now, so this is a bit awkward. Okay, so I don't... maybe the next pack was the one with the anger, but I'm not positive. We'll have to see. We can take Lacerate Flesh here over a Scob. I think the only other blue card in this pack was a Stitched Assistant, and that seems to be gone. Don't really need Villager too much, so we'll take the removal spell here, see what comes. Adamant Will could go well in blue-white. Sure Strike could go well in... it doesn't really go well in a ton of archetypes, but I do like having an Adamant Will in my blue-white decks. And again, I think white is... oh my gosh. What is going on in this draft? Do we think about moving into red-green? I don't think I'm going to miss a Chill of the Grave, so I'm going to take this. See what happens here. There's a Siphon Essence. Are people just taking like the worst cards in the pack and passing... alright, well we're playing black then. I've yet to see this card in a pack. And... here it is. It is absolutely insane if you can actually cast it. Oh, geez. But the problem is we have... it's going to be really, really hard to make playable. So I made this mistake once in this format so far with Dreadfeast Demon. I took a pack one, pick one, and warped my whole draft around it. And ended up going 0-3 in that draft because black was not open... all sorts of things like that. Toxrill is insane. It's a 7-drop, and it kind of gets rid of everything we have so far. There's another child here. There's a resistance squad. There's a traveling minister. This is going to seem weird, but I think I'm going to take traveling minister here over Toxrill. Look, I know a lot of people would go over Toxrill here and just put on the blinders and go into black. I've done that before, and it's bitten me in the butt. So I know this is a great card, but I'm going to go ahead and pass it, and it feels dirty doing that, I will say. So we've got Lantern Flare here. Again, white being our best color so far. Unfortunately, there is a Lantern Bearer and an Abrade in this pack as well, which I would love to have, but I don't think we can pass up on Lantern Flare. There is a world where we could even splash red in a blue-white deck, potentially. But, yeah, I think Lantern Flare is the best card in this pack, so we're just going to go ahead and take it. Wow, okay, so we got a Quartermaster and a third Imprisonment. I think because we already have two, I'm going to take the Quartermaster. And even if we only had one, I'd probably still take the Quartermaster here. Again, white is our best color, so I think we want to stick with white. And just as I say that, there's no white, but there is a Dream Shacklegeist, and this card's been really, really good. Would love to wheel Cradle of Safety for this deck. But we're going to go ahead and take Dream Shacklegeist here. And then there's a Flame Blessed Bolt here. None of these cards are cards I'm really going to miss. Don't think this Child of the Pack is going to make it here. This is a weird draft so far. So here's a Heron. Alright, so we've got Thirst, Heron, and another Minister. think I'm going to take the third Minister, but we do need to... After this third Minister, I think we can start taking cards like Heron and other good flying creatures. Storm Chaser Drake works really well with Ministers, obviously. So I think I'm going to take this third Minister here. Here's a Heron of Hope. With 3 Ministers, I'm looking for a Heron of Hope actively. There is a Drogskull Infantry as well. But, yeah, I think with 3 Ministers, the Minister plus Heron of Hope combo is something I really want in most of my blue-white decks if I can get access to it. So I'm going to take that first Heron. We've got nothing but blue and red, including a Raconteur. There's a Binding Geist, a Chill of the Grave, and a Wretched Throng. I guess we can take Binding Geist. We could all, I mean, we're not really going to be doing much with Wretched Throng here. So we'll take Binding Geist. There's an Anger. I guess I'll take my first Anger, just in case, because I'm not taking Ambush and there's no white cards, so. Okay, here we go. We can take Cruel Witness here. It's a decent pick. We've already got an Adamant Will. Again, I don't think we're going to be playing the Wretched Throng game here. Skywarp Scob has been fine, too, but I'd like Witness. I'd like at least one copy of Witness in these decks. Maybe we could have played the Wretched Throng game. Actually, you know what? I'll just take this first one here, just to see what happens. Cradle did come back, which is good news for us. So, decision point in this draft was obviously passing that Toxrill, but I would have to go back. I kind of had the blinders on not looking at black in this pack, but I think black... Oh, the last pick Throng, there we go. Black was wildly cut in this second pack, too. Like, we did not really see a ton of black, so I would be, like, piecing together, like, 6 white cards plus Toxrill and trying to make a deck out of that, and I think that deck is going to be worse than a very synergistic blue-white deck with a lot of non-creatures that we're going to have here, right? We have double Bolt if we wanted to splash, but there's another Flame. There's a first Flame Breather. Fear of Death could come around. Shield Basher could come around. Let's go ahead and get these red cards out of here. Make sure we're looking at the right thing. I think we're definitely going blue-white here, especially with this Whispering Wizard. So we'll take that. So here we've got Panic Bystander, Skywarp Scob, Sanctify. Don't need Sanctify, so it's between these two. Based on our curve, I might take the Panic Bystander. We have 3 enchantments, 6 instants for our Whispering Wizard. We also have the backside of Binding Geist. If this flips... We're going to have a good amount of life gain, so this could just flip into a 3/5, which is a good body. And because it's a 2-drop, I'm going to side with taking the 2-drop here. And then we get a lot of good blue-white. So there's Heron Blessed Geist, there's Distracting Geist, and to a lesser extent, Siphon Essence and or a second Adamant Will. Again, we have 4 enchantments total. Yeah, 3 enchantments here plus the backside of Binding Geist, so we have 4 total, which is not great for Heron Blessed Geist. So I'm actually going to take my first Distracting Geist here. Maybe this even wheels. I'd play one, but... So this could be the deck for Arm the Cathars, depending on... So we have 15 creatures, and a lot of them are flying, and if you can put 6 power and toughness on flyers, this card gets really, really good. It's either that or just some mediocre 2-drops and a 6-drop I don't want to play. There isn't a Braid, but we're kind of past that here. So we'll take Arm the Cathars here. I'd love to see another Storm Chaser Drake. So we're going to go ahead and slam that. Thing is, we did not really get there on ways to target it. We have Cradle of Safety. We have the backside of Distracting Geist. And that's pretty much it. So we didn't really get there, but a 2-mana 2/1 flyer is just a good card, honestly. So we'll take that one. We'll take Skywarp Scob, but I don't know if that's something we're going to be looking to play here. We'll have to see. There's a Siphon Essence. That's a good enough card for us to consider. Heron Blessed Geist. Yeah, I think I'll take my first Heron Blessed over second Adamant Will or Selhoff Tumor. I think I'll take Fear of Death here. Does count as an enchantment. Doesn't. None of these cards matter. There, this one did come back. It's either that or a second Adamant Will here. I'm actually, you know what? Because of our double Drake, now I'm going to take second Adamant Will over second Heron Blessed, guys, because we don't actually have a ton of ways to get the backside value of this, and if we can't, then it's not as good of a card. So I guess we can get these bolts out of here. We didn't really get there on splashing. We could think about just throwing a random mountain in for this, but I think we have enough creatures here. We're at 18 creatures. Probably. Now we're at 16 because we don't want those two Wretched Throngs. Alright, so we'll have to see how the deck build goes to maximize a couple of these cards here, but again, I have been impressed with blue-white, and I think the Toxrill would have been bad for this deck. You know, looking back at this draft and what happened after we would have taken the Toxrill, we would not have ended up with really enough black playable cards, to be honest. So okay, so we can sort by creatures and non-creatures. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 instants for double essence, which is not bad. What do our creature count looks like? 16. What are our worst creatures? I kind of like all of our creatures. So we have to cut 4 non-creatures, but then that makes our Whispering Wizard worse. That was an alliteration if I've ever heard one. Fear of Death is probably something we can get away with going without. We probably don't need 2 Siphon Essences for this deck necessarily. I want to keep both Wills and Cradle and Arm the Cathars, Binding and Distracting Geist for our Storm Chaser Drake. So maybe it's just a Siphon Essence, or maybe a Scattered Thoughts, or maybe both of these. But then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 triggers for our wizard, which isn't the end of the world. We could also consider going 16 lands here. But we do have 3 5-drops, and not a lot of ways to make blood and get rid of lands or dig into them. Lantern Flare gets better the more creatures we have, because we're never going to be cleaving it. So I think it is going to be a Scattered Thoughts and a Siphon Essence here. And this will end up being the deck with 17 lands. Although I'm really leaning towards going with 16. You know what? I'm going to start it with 17 and see if we need to adjust from there. Yeah, I mean, we'll probably flood out in the first game and have to come back and change it, but you know, that's the theme of how things go here. So we'll have to keep a close eye on how things are going, because the problem with playing 17 is if we start flooding out, we have no protection against it, right? We have no way, except maybe a couple of blood tokens on the backside of these, to really protect against drawing a ton of lands here. But the other problem is if we play 16, there's a chance we get kind of stuck down here, and we have 7 cards that are 4 or 5 mana. So again, 17 is usually the right number, and I'm going to go ahead and stick with that for now. Alright, so as we get into round 1 here, I'd love if you wouldn't mind considering taking a look at that subscribe button here on the channel. We've had a good month here in growth, and I would love for more of you to be involved. If you have any friends that you think might enjoy watching the channel here, go ahead and share this video or previous videos with them. Go ahead and check out some of our previous videos as well. We've got plenty of trophies here on the channel, plenty of underwhelming drafts as well if you're in for a treat with one of those. But we've got, I think this is, I've lost track at this point, but I think this draft might be our 35th draft or something. So we're doing a ton of drafts here on Daily Draft, and I'd love for you all to consider being a part of it. Alright, so we're on the draw against Mythic 709. Let's see if we can hold our own here. So we got double Drake. We'll go ahead and keep this for sure. Alright. So Undead Butler currently can't get anything back, which is good. We've got 4 mana for Heron. So if they're Mythic 709, that makes me think that if they've milled this boarded window, they have at least 2, maybe even 3 in this deck. And there, well, yeah, here you go. There it is. Alright, we'll just go ahead and play another Drake here. And hit them for 1. Hopefully they don't drop another boarded window. If they hit 2 of them on the battlefield, that's going to be hard to get through. That is for sure. Okay. So next turn they'll have access to this card, but as long as none of our cards get removed before then, they won't get any value off of the drain. So there's that. No blocks. We can play... I don't think we need... So, the upside to playing Dream Shacklegeist here and being a little mana inefficient is that next turn we can hit them for 1, 2, 3, 4 and kill the boarded window if they don't have removal. And if they do have removal, they're giving up on the value of casting a Scavenger. So either way, I think that's alright. So I'm going to be a little mana inefficient and not go with Heron of Hope, so that we can try to get rid of that boarded window sooner than later here. So we're going to go ahead and keep the Butler tapped down and hit them for 2. And hopefully they don't have removal here or draw into removal so that we can kind of get rid of that boarded window and go to town. And either way, we have the Quartermaster that we can kind of like put down and hopefully resolve an extra counter or 2. We're going to have a ton of flyers here, so... Ballista Watcher is a good card. But we're going to go ahead and just play the Quartermaster. Next turn we can go Heron plus Lens Flare. Let's do this one and this one. No reason to tap down Ballista Watcher, so we're just going to keep the Undead Butler tapped down and then get rid of their boarded window. Doesn't have reach, does it? Nope. Cool. And now next turn we have 12, so we have lethal. They don't have removal. There we go. Flyers have been incredibly good this format. So... yeah, double boarded window would have been hard. But, good thing we milled that first one. Alright, so we're on the draw again. This is a bit of an awkward hand. We don't want to cast this till later. These spells don't do anything unless we have creatures, and we don't have any creatures, but we are on the draw, so we could draw into some creatures. I'm going to keep it, but let's just hope they don't go 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop. Well, there's 1 drop. And there we go with the antics. So, we'll see if they have a follow-up. That's decent-ish news for us. Probably going to try to cycle into another land if I had to guess. They got rid of a land, trying to find their 3rd color, or 2nd color. Okay. Kind of did in Voldaren Estate. We'll play Binding Geist here. And we are good on lands for the rest of the game. Oh, they found the swamp. Okay, so now their hand is unlocked. They're probably going to cast Blood Hypnotist, though, which makes sense. So we can do Panicked Bystander holding up Adamant Will. Yeah, so let's do that and see if they try to remove something or... Okay, I'm happy trading that with Binding Geist if they'll let me. Okay, no. And a Wedding Security. That'll be pretty good. Alright, another land. I think we need to get the Quartermaster going here. Don't need to attack. Man, they've hit nothing but lands after that first turn there. Like, I think they've hit swamp almost every turn. Okay, so they're going to sacrifice that, make this unable to block. Yeah, whenever you sacrifice 1 or more blood, this can't block. Okay, so if we go for the double block here, and they use something like Parasitic Grasp, we get owned. Abrade also owns us. So I need to have Adamant Will up because they have 3 mana. So I need to keep Adamant Will up to protect us against one of those cards. Okay. Yikes. Alright, alright. So, we'll play Dream Shacklegeist and keep Wedding Security tapped down, and then keep up Adamant Will here. We can also get a little aggro. Now that this is going to stay tapped down. We can block with Panic Bystander, go for Adamant Will. We'll give that -2, -0. Because next turn we can hit them for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, if they mess up a little bit here, then we could get a little cheeky on the win on the backswing. We'll see. Another Blood Hypnotist. Okay, so they can sacrifice a blood and make both of our creatures unable to block. Be a little awkward. And again, they could still hold up a Braid if we go for Adamant Will on Dream Shacklegeist, which I'm sure that they're going to do here. Yeah, so they're going to make that unable to block. Oh, they're both going to, so okay. Sure, it resolves. So again, we've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. If they attack with both. There we go. Alright. And even if... Alright, so we might have it here. Because this can't block. Alright, my turn. Cradle is another good draw. So let's, yeah. So we'll keep this tap down. And get on in there. Doesn't matter. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we'll give... Doesn't really matter. We have all sorts of protection here. Okay, resolves. Resolves. Sure. Okay. Let's give it to this one as well. And then we'll give it to this one. And that'll do it. So I guess if they wouldn't have attacked with Epicure, we would not have been able to win there if they had jumped. So seems like they made a bit of a mistake in attacking with Epicure. Probably didn't think we can deal 15 to them on the backswing, but turns out we could. Alright, we'll be on the draw for the third game in a row here. We only have 2 lands. We are on the draw. We do have a Distracting Geist, but this card is so bad on the draw. This card does nothing unless we get creatures out. This card does nothing unless we get creatures out. Obvious keep. No. I mean, you need a pretty high bar to be able to mulligan in Limited, and we have both of our colors and a way to draw out of this, potentially. So, we'll see if we can capitalize on their mulligan to 5 here. Last time our opponent mulliganed to 5, we lost, so that was a bit awkward. Okay, that'll certainly help you. Neither of these cards do anything, so we can play Distracting Geist next turn. Yeah, well, mulligan to 5, they have all 3. Oh, God. Okay. Well, you know, that's about the best hand you could have when you mulligan to 5. So do we play Distracting Geist or Binding Geist? I mean, neither of them really do much here. So I guess we'll play Binding. Jeez. Mulligan to 5 in Limited is so bad, but, you know, having access to all 3 colors of your mana and playing a bomb on turn 3 is going to be hard to get through, unfortunately. God. Okay, so 3/3, Ward 2. Okay, at least there is a land. And I think we just have to go Whispering Wizard here and try to trade with this. They're not going to let us, but Yeah, the next turn, not even sure. So yeah, so they have some. They probably have, you know, massive might or whatever. But we're gonna make them use it here. And I don't want to get rid of the wizard. Like if I block the wizard here or something, they can do it twice or something. Because we need this wizard on the backside, or to start making 1/1s to help let us survive. Yeah, so there's their trick that we knew they had. They probably have another massive might as well. And now their whole team gets +1/+1. Jeez. And we can deal 1 damage. We can deal 2 damage to something, but that's not great. It's the most mana efficient thing to do, though. So we can give Adamant Will plus Lantern Flare something down. I don't like it, but we don't really have another great option here. So we're going to have to do this pre-blocks, which is going to feel weird because we need that extra body to help try to trade or chump something. And to use Lantern Flare with. But we could... There's a scenario where we get absolutely wrecked by doing this. But again, I mean, what are we going to do? Just play a 2/1 that does nothing? Or imprison a random 2/3? Those aren't winning propositions. We have to take the line that's going to help us win this game. And I think our best chance at doing so is to Adamant Will plus Lantern Flare. Alright, so cross your fingers they don't have the Abrade. Well, so let's see. So if we block here and they go for like Massive Might or whatever, we can Adamant Will, which will give us 2 creatures. Lantern Flare will give us 3 creatures to get down something else. They could also just try to let us trade, and if we try to Adamant Will, they could do it in response. But that at least saves 2 more damage. I don't like our spot no matter where we're at, but so we're going to be taking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 here. Alright. Cross your fingers. So we'll give this +2/+2 and indestructible. Okay. So that resolves now. And then we can Lantern Flare down just any one of these creatures here. Just gonna do it now. Oh, this only triggers once a turn. Okay, that could have been bad, but we needed to do that now. Okay, so we can't be mana efficient here. We could play Imprisonment on one of these 2, which gives us another 1/1 that at least chumps. We could play Distracting Geist that trades. We could play Shield Basher that theoretically trades. We could play... a land would have been good. Arm of the Cathars gives us another 1/1 plus pushes through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage, but... Alright, so I'm going to play Shield Basher to threaten the block on the Hamlet Vanguard here and keep this back to chump one of these. I think we need to try to start getting in, because if we keep sitting back, then we're just going to be on the back foot this entire game here. They could have another removal spell or like a Massive Might, which would be not good, but again, we don't have a ton of outs here. That's going to be hard. Okay. So we're going to have to trade plus chump. Alright, now there's a land. So we can go imprisonment on this, binding geist that, and then all they have is a 5/5 left, basically. So let's imprison this. Let's binding geist this. And then we have double chump blockers, or we have single chump blocker for this. Although now we're dead to removal spell, but again, we need to start pushing damage through. Okay. Next turn we could play Geist, chump with it, or we can go this Geist plus Arm the Cathars, but that's not great. It does give us a 1/1 and pushes through 6 more damage, puts them to 8. Although they would just chump with this at that point. So we could play this, chump with it, next turn, use 4 mana to make 2 1/1s that can also chump. And if we draw a... Yeah, so, okay, this is really difficult here. So we can go Geist plus Arm the Cathars, which leaves us 2 chump blocker. No, we can't even do that. We can't do that. Okay, so we have to basically do Aaron Blessed Geist here. Let's see if they're getting priority. They're not, so they don't have a removal spell. We are dead to removal on the backswing again, but... Again, it's not a winning proposition just to sit back here and do literally nothing. Because we have Arm the Cathars that can push through some surprise damage on them. So let's chump here. Next turn we can make 2 1/1s, and if we draw a land, also play Distracting Geist. There we go. There we go. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll play Distracting Geist, and then we'll get in there. So we do have to chump again. Question is, do they even want to attack? I guess it depends on what they draw. Okay, they do. Okay, so we can imprison this now. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because it says Ward 2. So yes. Resolves auto pay. And then we'll get in there. And now we have lethal next turn. Let's see. Wow, 4 colors. Does that unlock something in their hand? Kind of. Let's see what they find here. Another land? Yep, another land. Wow, alright. So we'll play this. We'll go 3, 2, 1. Make a 1/1 and get in there. Man, really clawed our way back in that one, but it's quite the game. Alright, so we're finally on the play here. Lantern Flare doesn't do anything. We have 3 drop, 4 drop. Hopefully we draw 2, maybe. Okay, so there's at least a land. But it would have been better if it were an island to play Cruel Witness. Blood Petal Celebrant. Okay. So let's go ahead and just play our 3 drop here. Can't block. The Lantern Flare does kill their Celebrant at the very least, so they do have an instant because they're getting priority. There's a land and a Ragged Recluse. Okay. We can go Shield Basher, hold up Lantern, or we can go Minister, hold up Lantern Flare. We could just go Shield Basher, but that doesn't block very well on this board. It does attack well, though. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get in. Tapping this. We're going to have to take 4, but then we have 3, or we have 6 on the backswing. So we do win this race, technically. Okay, so we need to kill that. We're going to do Minister plus Lantern Flare to kill the Innocent Traveler. Or Minister plus double Lantern Flare. Or double Minister, I mean. We could just do this here. And then we'll get in for 6. And then next turn we could have a lot of damage coming through. Surprise. Okay, I don't care about that. That I do care about, but hopefully it'll be too late. They can kill something here. What do they want to kill? Probably the Shield Basher, yeah. Makes sense. Do they have another removal spell? Oh, that's brutal. Okay. Do we trade for Recluse? So next turn they're getting this, which is not going to be good for us. But next turn we can push through 5, 6, 7 damage. But that's not going to be good enough, really. I don't think we do. Cradle of Safety, that's not quite it. Yeah, this is really awkward here. They're going to play Ill-Tempered Loner next turn, and then we're going to not have a lot to do about it. I'm using this one on this one. Then I can get in. And we just have to end the turn here. Which feels bad, but... Alright, so it's daytime now. And they have another Celebrant. Okay. Adamant Will. Okay, so I think we have to be on the defensive now. We can block Adamant Will on the Ill-Tempered Loner if they try to shoot down the other one, give it Cradle of Safety, and then we kind of do something, but and there's a Avenger. Forgot about that. Yeah, that'll probably be game for us, for them now. Okay. Doesn't have trample. I don't know why they're doing this now. Sure. Pass to blockers. We'll go here. Oh god, are we losing connection? I think we have to block here as well. We'll go Adamant Will on this one. And Cradle of Safety on this one. It's a strange play by them. Okay, so we're going to have to double chump if we play Whispering Wizard, but we have to single chump now and lose. We could play Whispering Wizard, gain a life and chump with it, but none of this is really a winning proposition here. This is only till end of turn. Man, these are brutal. They're going to get us. Land would have been good. Blue land would have been good. Yeah, I don't really see a way out of this here. So I think we need to play Whispering Wizard, gain a life, and then chump with this. And then next turn, hope we draw blue? Maybe? Or they just have it anyway, so yeah, who cares? Yeah, we got close there. They made a weird play with that, Ill-Tempered Loner, but that's why it's a really good card. And we just we got a little bit mana screwed there. Or color screwed, I suppose you could say. So, that's alright. Alright, we are on the draw again, and have a one-lander, so can't keep it. I suppose this is better, and I don't like bottoming Whispering Wizard, but it's the only card we know we won't be able to cast for at least a little bit. Well, there we go. But we do have 2, 3, 4 here, so at least there's that. Okay, no priority, so they don't have a combat trick. At least not at the time of us playing this card. Let's attack. Hopefully they don't have the flash. Oh no, that's a 5-mana flash card. They could have Syncopate, which wouldn't be good for this, but we just need to be mana efficient. If they have a counterspell, they have a counterspell. Okay, so it's Thirst. We do have the Hope plus Minister combo. But we'll see if we can get there with that, or if they disrupt it before we do. Oh god, okay, well we're just gonna lose to that card then, apparently. Yeah, this card is absolutely ridiculous, so... let's get in, tap that down, just play a Heron of Hope, and hope they don't drop like 2 6-drops on us next turn, which they very well might. Alright, what is it? There's one 6-drop. What's next? There's a 5-drop. Jeez. Yep, that card is pretty ridiculous. Sure, you do your thing. Alright, so we can go Quartermaster, or we can go Minister plus Cathars. Next turn, play Quartermaster, push through the last bit of damage, maybe? We can tap this down, give this 5, or give this be a 5/5, this be a 4/3, and this be a 3/4. I think I'm willing to do that over playing the Quartermaster this turn. So this will be +3/+3, 2, and 1. All attack, tap down this one. They take 8. Okay. Oh, and of course it goes back to day as well. So now they get to just drop all their creatures again. Maybe we could ride to victory on the back of Heron of Hope plus Traveling Minister, but I don't know. Let's see. They could just have another 5-drop and another 6-drop. No more Flourishing Hunters, please. That was a strange decision. They could have just used that mana to not tap this, but okay. Resolves. So they probably have a removal spell here. Which is not going to be great. But let's go ahead and play the Quartermaster and see if they want to remove the Heron of Hope. So this does have reach. Let's give it to this and this. We'll gain a life. 2 life, I suppose. Unless they kill it in response. Probably a Wolf Strike. Lunar Rejection, okay. And no attacks. Alright, let's see here. Could be a close game. All they have to do is really... Yeah, that's one way to stabilize. Yeah, and a Lantern Bearer. So, you can put Distracting Geist on Quartermaster and get in. But then they could double block. Okay, so this gets +1/+1. Let's play Heron of Hope. Let's gain 2 life. We can hold up Cradle of Safety. So land wouldn't be the end of the world next turn, assuming they don't go for a removal on one of our creatures, because then we can go Geist plus Cradle and maybe find a way to get through these Reach and Flyers. Alright, what's the wheel going to spin out this time? A Respiratory Scob that could get back Lunar Rejection. Okay. We have Cradle for that. Ah, that's brutal. Okay, so we could just kill this. We need to just kill this now. So what we can do is we're going to go Lantern Flare on this. They're going to try to Lunar Rejection one of our creatures in response. We can Cradle it. And then it still resolves and deals 4 to that. This will flip our Bystander as well. But I think this is the thing that needs to die. Resolves. So this will die. We'll gain 4. This will flip. We'll gain 6 because of the Minister. But as long as they have these are going to be hard to get through. I want to keep this Herald of Hope Minister combo alive, but we can't really get through at the moment. And as long as they're just dropping 6/6s every turn, we're not going to survive for long. So we can't really... We could trade the Quartermaster for one of these, which I think I'm fine doing. Because that'll let the Herald of Hope kind of get in, which means I should have given it to this. But... Okay, so they will trade it. Makes me think they have removal for Herald of Hope next turn. I think we're basically relying on them not having removal for this at this point. It's about our last chance here. Although they could give Lantern Bearer on the back of... Oh god, they can give one of these flying. That would not be good. Alright, they gain 6. They have a Scorpion. They're still not attacking us for some reason. So we need to save this imprisonment for whichever Flourishing Hunter they put the Lantern Bearer on. So let's do this. We can also put Distracting Geist on that, or we can just gain the life here. They proved they didn't have an answer for it, so again, this is our path to victory. So let's attack here, and then tap down probably the Lantern Bearer. So they would have to chump with the spider here. God, they can get 10 spiders. Yuck. Okay, so let's tap down this. Totally forgot about the other part of this card. They can get 10 insects. Okay, okay. This will be a little difficult, but let's see if we can push through any of this last little bit of damage here. Makes sense. No Wolf Strike. No Wolf Strike, please. No removal for Herald of Hope. Alright, now they're going to have like a 13-13 or something. Oh, another Lantern's Lift. That's going to really hurt us. That'll probably kill us there. So 1, 2, 3. Have to imprison that. We're going to just keep doing our thing here. Yeah, they have a good deck. Blue-green usually doesn't get there, but, you know, double Hunter with the Howlpack Ambusher plus, like, 3 Lantern Bearers so far. I mean, it's going to be difficult. Even though it's 42-6, it feels like we're going to win this game, but I really don't think we're in the position to be doing that necessarily here. We'll have to see. Oh, wow. I did not realize they had 4 cards left in their deck. Holy moly. Okay. I guess they're going to have to cash in this spider like right now so they stop milling themselves. Oh, there we go. There we go. Wow, their deck is sweet. This is what I want blue-green to be in this format. Yeah, that probably secures our loss there. Although I hate this card doesn't let me see what they shuffled in. Howlpack Ambusher was almost certainly in there. Triple Spider, triple Lantern Bearer, double Hunter, double Millipede, Howlpack Ambusher. Wow, they have a fun deck. Makes sense. There's a Binding Geist. They'll probably hit us for 13. Nope, alright. We're going to do this. Go to combat, tap down the Millipede. And give this lifelink. And now they can give the Hunter, and then we can't tap down 2 things, so that's probably the end of our little experiment there. Maybe they can't close us out from 49, though? They're going to have to cash in this Spider, like, right now. Man, they're really not going for it, are they? We can just bounce it, then. Do they have another Witness the Future? They're looking in their graveyard. No, they're going to get back a Lunar Rejection and then get rid of all this on top of here. Yeah, okay. Oh, get back Witness the Future. Oh my, okay, they can never deck now. As long as they have Witness the Future and Respiratory Scob, they can never deck. Okay. That's kind of cool. So they put double Spider plus Respiratory Scob and something else because they don't let me see that? And then they can put Lancer's Lift on the Flourishing Hunter, and that's probably the end of our attacking here. Actually, I'm gonna do it this way, just in case. That didn't matter. Alright. Gain a life, and then say go. So we need them to mill their Respiratory Scob. If they mill the Respiratory Scob, they can't do this loop anymore. Okay, that means they have to mill multiple cards on their upkeep now. Alright, well there's the Respiratory Scob, so they get to do it again. This game might take forever. Sure. Mill your Respiratory Scob. Mill it. No. Oh, they had double Witness the Future? Okay, well. Hopefully the Respiratory Scob's down here now. Because I think if they mill that, I'm not sure they have a way to keep looping. Well, now that they have double witness the future, I guess they do. Oh, man. Do we even have another out? I think we have double imprisonment in our deck, so we can imprison one of these and then try to get through a spider. I don't even know. I don't even know if this is worth it. It's gonna take forever. Yeah. There's a chance I might edit this till we get to the last moments of the game here, because I think I'm gonna play it out, but for your sake, I'm not gonna make you sit through this. Okay, I decided against it. I'm just done. Well, that's what blue-green's supposed to do in Innistrad, right? They kind of got there. Alright, so we're on the play with a hand that does literally nothing, so we'll keep it. Don't care about that in the slightest. We'll just keep drawing lands to get to our Quartermaster that doesn't do anything. A 5-mana 3/3 flyer. I guess we're going to imprison that because we're just drawing nothing but lands here and we need to do something, so... There's another one. Oh, look, another land. Let's just play our creature. Submit 0. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright. 5-mana lifelinker, or 5 toughness lifelinker, Stormchaser Drake. Okay. Yeah, no blocks. We can threaten to block on the Ancestor here. At the potential of getting blown out. Imprisonment in 2 lands. Alright. Okay, so we'll draw a card and kill their Ancestor. They do gain some life, but... I think we'll play Cruel Witness here. And... don't think we want to trade for a 1/1. Although if they attack with it, are we blocking? Probably? We'll have to see. Okay, so that one... they can get back a Kindly Ancestor. I think I'm fine with them getting back a Kindly Ancestor. There are worse things that we could have them get back than an Ancestor, so... I know they get to give it lifelink with... I don't even know. That has lifelink +2/+0, so it's a 4/3 lifelinker, but... Okay, so another land. Yeah, no blocks. So we have 9 lands so far in top 15 cards, so hopefully we won't draw any more. That's going to be a problem. We're going to be taking 6 a turn from that here. Okay. 6 a turn with lifelink. Oh, jeez. Yeah, this is going to be ugly. They are out of gas, but we haven't drawn anything. Okay, we just have a Drake in there. Yeah, I guess we'll do that here. And then pass. But this Shield Basher is going to start bashing our head in. Okay, that's fine. We don't need that land. Although I would have liked to get the blood token off the backside of that. So we need, at this point we need our second imprisonment pretty badly. I can't think of anything else we have that will get around this. Well, they didn't give it Groom's Finery, so at least we can block here. Okay, well it's a card. They're at 34, so we're gonna have to start attacking here. Although it just offsets whatever they gain. So we need Sigarda's Imprisonment is basically it. I think, because or an X6, which we don't have in the deck. Maybe, or an X7, I mean. Yeah. So it's just Imprisonment at this point. No blocks. We'll draw our 10th land, and well, we won't be blocking. Put some of these in at the very least. Okay. So we have to jump now? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so we have to jump. But we knew we were going to be jumping here at some point anyway. 6, 7, 8, 9. So yes, we have to do this one. Alright. And we'll hit our 11th land and concede. Alright, so, you know, we got up to 3 wins and then kind of faced the nuts blue-green deck, and then just drew literally nothing that last game and lost. So, you know, it happens. But I really liked blue-white as a deck, and I think it's really sweet in this format. So I'm gonna keep playing it because it's fun. So yeah, looks like that'll do it for today's video. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow for your daily draft.